And well, hello everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Today's video is sort of changed up on me a few times. I was planning on doing a black and white seafood pasta, which is something I love and we'll do very, very soon. But the squid ink pasta I ordered came and it was bits. It was destroyed. So that's had to go back. And we still have to change. But in the meantime, I had the seafood. Just some frozen shrimps and scallops that you can buy in most stores. And I didn't want them to go to waste. So I thought, it's been a while since we've done a nice pizza. But I want to change it a bit. I want to make it a little bit more special, a little more grown up, so to speak. So we are going to do a seafood pizza with a rosé sauce and 4 cheeses. So let's have some fun. We're using our standard dough like we always do. The video where we made this and the directions, the recipe, are all back in the first video. Or you can go to 5pmchef.com and check the recipe there. So I have let this dough rest for a little bit. It's nice, it's soft, it's really soft. It's going to be such a nice crust. We just had a little olive oil in the bowl. So that's also going to add a nice little bit of flavor to this. And we are just going to hand stretch this out so that it fits our sheet here. Now, if you don't have a pizza pan, that's fine. Do it just on a baking sheet. If you're lucky enough to have one of those home stovetop or barbecue pizza ovens, definitely use that. This normally is with a thin crust, but I want something a little bit more substantial. I like when you bite into a pizza and you've got a little chew to the crust, a little crispness. So all I've done here is just stretch out my dough. No, I'm not going to throw it. First of all, I've got a light right here, so it would just hit. But no rolling pins. I want to try and keep as many of those air bubbles that by letting this rise again, we want to keep them in there. As many as we can, because that's going to make a nice, light, fluffy crust. So, we have our dough. It's all stretched out and nice. It just moved a little bit there. So we just stretch it out a bit more. And we are all good. Now that's going to stay there just while we swap the camera. The oven is already preheating. We have 450 degrees. So it won't take long to cook. But we have a sauce to make. And we have some seafood to cook. So, give me a second. We're just going to quickly move the camera around, let you see what we're doing, and we'll go from there. So, just hold on a second. So, our camera position has changed. You can see we've got our little pot here, going real close up today. And we're just going to add to this, get the burner on. First of all, just a little tomato sauce. Don't forget, this is only for a pizza, so we don't need a ton. That's even more than I need. That was less than a quarter cup. So it doesn't take a lot. Next, we add some nice black pepper. And we just get our little spatula out. And we're just going to give this nice little quick stir. Now, to make a rosé, one of the most popular sauces in Italian restaurants is literally tomato sauce and some heavy cream. That's it. You can just mix that up. And you're going to see now, once this comes together, we have a nice light pink sauce or rosé. But I want to add something else. I want more. So what I have here is just some nice Parmesan cheese. And we're just going to finely grate some of this into here. We'll keep that aside because we're going to need some more once that little chunk broke off, but that's fine. Just means more cheese. And all we're going to do is let this sort of come up to temperature, let that cheese melt, let the cream and the tomato sauce work together. But that's really about it for a rosé sauce. I'm just going to juggle some stuff really quickly here. There we go. But to that, we want to get our seafood in. Now, we don't want to fully cook the seafood. We want it just cooked enough. We just want this cooked enough, like maybe halfway. That's it. Because don't forget, this is going into a hot oven, and it's going to cook in there. We just want the flavors of that seafood, of those shrimps and those scallops, to really just get into the sauce. That's all. So as soon as those start to simmer a little bit, move the camera a bit, there we go. As soon as that simmers a little bit, we are done. So let's just, as they say, let's see how long it takes for a watched pot to boil. So while our sauce cooks up behind us there, we have all of our cheese nicely grated. We have some Parmesan in here. We have some really old aged sharp cheddar. We've got a little bit of the orange cheddar because, well, we have to. And of course, we have lots of mozzarella in here. So all I want to do here is just give it a little mix. Make sure it's kind of all even. This is in the store-bought pre-grated. I grated this myself. Here's the proof. We still have a dirty grater. We'll get all those cheese bits off because with the price of cheese these days, we want to get it all. So our dough, like I say, is stretched and resting. The more it rests, the more tender it's going to be, and the more it's going to puff up. So while our sauce is simmering away and coming up to temperature, we'll take a quick break and we'll all be back real soon. We'll assemble this, we'll get it in the oven, and then of course we have to do the tasting. Hello, and we are back. We have our sauce, and we have our cheese, we have our crust, we have a preheated oven. We had a spill on the oven, so I had to clean that up quickly. But we are ready to get this thing cooked. So, as you can see, I'm going to try and do this quickly because it's hot. These are semi-cooked. Like I said, I don't want them fully cooked because they are going to cook more in that hot oven. But, unlike a traditional pizza now, I'm straining out that seafood. I'm using just a slotted spoon. We're going to just try and get all these gorgeous shrimps and scallops spread over the pizza. Oh yeah. This is going to be delicious. Now you can add other seafoods here. If you want, you can get can of crab or use that imitation crab, the pollock, the fish made stuff. You could put some white fish on here with some like fillet of sole or haddock broken up into this would be nice. If you're feeling very posh and a little bit expensive, throw some lobster meat into this mix. It will be delicious. Just remember, whatever you do, do not fully cook what you're putting in because this is going into a super hot oven and it is going to cook some more in there. So we have our pizza with the seafood spread on, but we do have this sauce and we are going to use some of it, but we aren't going to use a lot. I just want enough so that we know there's some sauce on there. So all I'm kind of doing is drizzling this on. So now you see why I said we don't need a lot of sauce. 1/4 cup of the tomato sauce, of the tomato coulis. Maybe 1/8 of a cup of cream. If you want a more tomatoey sauce, we'll add less cream. If you want more of a creamy sauce, we'll add more cream. And there we go. Now this is going to be kind of hard to tip to show, but you can sort of see, because we're going to go like this, that we don't have a ton of sauce on there. What we do have is going to spread out as this cooks, and that is enough, because that sauce is going to carry a lot of that seafood flavor, and it's going to help just with this cheese. Now, I've grated more than I'm going to need. I know that. But we're just going to go all the way around. We want to get that cheese covering everything. And again, you can use whatever cheeses you like. Mozzarella, of course, because it is pizza after all. But it's a little different. Some of you are going like, well, that's not pizza. Well, you go to any artisanal pizza shop, guarantee you almost, you are going to see a seafood pizza on there of one kind or another. And it will be probably the most expensive pizza they sell. Now, to give you an idea, this was not the cheapest pizza I've ever made. But if you shop right, like I said, I got that bag of frozen shrimps and scallop mix. And there's smaller shrimp and smaller scallops. And all the scallops are broken, the shrimp are broken, so it's cheaper. The bag that I showed you was 1 pound of seafood, and that cost me $4.95. So a pretty damn good deal for a nice pizza. And as you can see, we have our cheese on there. We made sure we got all of them. We have our mozzarella. We have our 2 cheddars, the old and the mild. We have that Parmesan on there. We have a nice little crust to go all the way around. Make sure our shrimp and everything are covered. And this is going to go into, like I say, a 450 oven for about 10 minutes. We're going to check it, but it should take about 10 minutes. And in it goes. Now, we have all this sauce left here. What are we going to do with it? Well, it's just going to go back on the stove for now. And we're going to keep it warm because you could always dip some of your crust in there, drizzle a bit more of the sauce on after if you like, or just keep it and use that as a pasta sauce because it's going to have all the flavors of the shrimps and the scallops in there. So let's give this time to cook, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes. We'll see you soon. And hello, welcome back. It has been 15 minutes. I just checked that and we are ready to eat. Let's get this out of here. Oh boy. This is hot. It is juicy. You can see how nice that looks. Gotta put this tray down. It is hot. Always remember to turn your oven off. Good thing to do. So, we have our beautiful scallops. We have our incredible shrimp. I mean, just look at that. That's beautiful. The crust is a nice golden brown. And this is going to be, well, incredibly hot. This is not your typical pizza. This is not one, this is not crisp crust. Oh, that's gorgeous. The cheese is so beautifully melted. Listen to this. You can hear the crispness of that crust. But, like I said, this is not going to be... Let's get a proper fork. This is not going to be a pizza. Like, you can see the steam and everything, the heat coming off this, that you can just sort of pick up and eat. You know what's coming. Oh, look at that cheese drip. Got a scallop on there. We have the sauce. We have everything. That scallop was perfectly cooked. Whew, it's hot. The dough has a nice crispness to it, but it still has a chew. It's not dry at all, because when you cook seafood and you overcook it, it becomes rubbery and tough. This still is really nice. That sauce has so much flavor to it. And you saw how little we put on. But it's because we cooked the shrimp and the scallops in there. But yeah, nice golden crust. The shrimp, nice little bite to it. Still tender, but a snap. All those different cheeses. The Parmesan, like, just gives you that wake up. Wow, it's there. But then you have that mild cheddar and this sharp cheddar. So you've got this tanginess to the cheese. And it all creams out with the mozzarella that's in there. It's just so good. And we've got, like I say, tons of cheese on there. It's just beautiful. If you want, top this with a little bit of fresh basil that you've shredded up or thinly sliced. Oregano, I think, would be a little bit too much on this. And like I said, I didn't go any garlic. I didn't go anything like that, just because I wanted the seafood to really come through. But if you wanted to, you could add a splash of white wine to that sauce. It would be so nice. This crust, from letting it rest, oh, you see lots of beautiful little air bubbles in there. Still soft and tender, but that outside has a crunchiness to it that's really good. To do this pizza for a special night, or just a treat for yourself is so worth it. You saw how quick it was to make. The dough, as you know, as many of you know, I always have ready in the fridge. When I want a pizza, I pull some out. I let it sit on the counter for an hour to get nice and soft like that. Stretch it out, dress it up, and you are good to go. So, I really hope you enjoy this. Please leave me a comment down below. Is this a pizza you would try? What would you put on your pizza? What seafoods would you put on it? Are you a seafood person? So, until then, it is time for me to go devour this thing because it's calling me. These shrimps, these scallops. I'm gonna wait. So until next time, my name is Andrew. I am the 5 p.m. chef. I really hope everything is well with you. And until next we meet, enjoy your meals. Have a great day.